Alright, here we have 7 of 13's bridge officers. So, his build, okay, some of the things in his build are here more for aesthetics than anything else. Like, Fat D's a fun toy to play with. As an actual weapon goes, it's not what I would consider to be one of the best. And while I do have several weapon enhancing things, it would probably actually work out better if I used a different weapon for most things. However, and also one thing with this build is that I'm using the old Zinni tactical kit, which does technically work. I mean, K-Perf times 2 is worthwhile. It's not a great kit frame. If you had a expose exploit uh, setup for your build that was actually reliable, then maybe. But one thing to remember here is that the chance to expose thing um, only really applies to your character, and that's not right. Because your character has to be what is applying the expose. So again, this is something that I have, not because it's great, but because this character has been using one group of it. Honestly, the price of kit frame would be better than this slot. I just have to know that I'm getting. Let's see here. Burnham's armor. I'm actually using the mind meld device in this build because it's a fun melee weapon, and this build is set up so that I can do melee. And I have the cool temporal operator shield. Now, I've been using this for a really long time on this character, but honestly, with the Burnham set, since I'm not using the set 2-piece set bonus on the Nicole set, I would probably actually be better off using the Burnham shield. I mean, it doesn't suck, shall we say. And of course, it would give me the 3-piece set bonus. And let's face it, it's, good. And if I'm doing melee combat, yeah, um, great set bonus for when you're doing melee combat. I am. What exactly is the set bonus? Let's just take a quick peek at that. 2-piece is you get bonus physical damage resistance rating, or no, you give a physical damage resistance rating penalty to enemies that you expose. I think that's not a negative number. Does the set bonus actually make it harder to kill enemies? Inquiring minds want to know. Reasonably, it seems like it's probably something that adds a physical damage resistance rating penalty when you expose enemies by punching. Or any other means, honestly. Now, combo finishers, yeah, that's a fun one. The trick with combo finishers is understanding how the whole punch, punch, kick, kick, punch, kick, punch thing works. It's something that just takes a little bit of time. Other than that, let's see here. Some standard devices. I really should just pull this out of my device tree because I can't actually use that now. They changed how those work, so having them in your inventory is a complete waste of time. Or, I mean, in your device slot is a waste of time. I don't actually have something on him. That's just fun. Oh wait, hold on. Selvok has a spare of this, so I will swap that instead. Because surfboards you can activate from your inventory, so who cares? Moving on. Okay, so that's his kit. What do I actually have for his specs? As you can see, I have Intel and Pilot set up as his current active specs. I actually have the full Intel on this character, and like 3 points of it, because I like enhanced attack patterns. Traits. Honestly, nothing really all that special. I actually do have the bonus aggression trait. Acute senses, field technician, field warrior's blood. I could use that. Neural blast, because I'm a Borg, and neural blast is fun. It's that one where you sometimes see a character fire an electric zap from their left hand. That's not collective will. Bonus physical strength, because yes, please. Strike team specialist. Bonus crit chance for being offensive. I Stubborn, sturdy. Actually, I'm not using Technophile. Yeah, there's options here. Definitely things I could do differently if I wanted. Ground rep, run faster, regenerate. Oh yeah, emergency personal cloaking device. This is actually really, really good, especially when you have stuff that will cause you to passively regenerate. Anyways, so that's his traits. Let's take a quick look at my duty officer stuff. This is something that's a setup that mostly doesn't benefit my bridge officers. See, I'm not using grenades, so I don't have any grenade focused duty officers. Not that, no one on my team uses grenades. I do, however, have the security officer. The thing is, there is nothing bridge officers can do that triggers those. I have Elder Melikitan, which is a generic damage bonus that affects all damage done in ground combat, although it's really not a damage bonus. And then there is a not cool operative who, okay. This particular ability is a 20% chance of triggering whenever you use a kit ability. Well, the thing is, the bridge officer powers count as kit abilities, so bridge officers will have this trigger at random just because they're doing bridge officer things. Now, this is health healing, not shield healing, so it might be wasted if they're at full health. However, it's something that is a generically usable ability. You never know if it's going to trigger when you need it, but it can trigger off of anything, and that's what makes it valuable. Alright, so what are the bridge officers I haven't used currently? 3 of these 4 are randomly recruited bridge officers that I thought would be useful when one of my other characters recruited them, so I kept them around and passed them to this guy so he could use them. So, here we have a Bolian who is wearing a bunch of weird random stuff that I could easily swap this out with something else. I mean, like Selvok, Logel has like the entire Delta Alliance set. I could switch that over and have Jill using it. Could, if I wanted to. Anyway, so her skills. This is something that I've used on several bridge officers as a skill setup. Medical tricorder, seismic agitation field. This actually works nicely with the mortars in the team because it will prevent enemies in the seismic agitation field from being able to run away from the mortar, which is nice. Then we have, 2 command team buffs, which quite good. Again, it's like this is kind of sort of a mix between being a team medic and a support character, which of course is why I gave her a sniper rifle, is because I want her to stay at range and not get anywhere close to enemies, and hopefully not get shot as much as the other bridge officers do. Oh, and I have her paired with Palpu, who is set up as a tank anyways, so part of her job is to heal Palpu so that Palpu doesn't get KO while tanking enemies. Okay, so basic teamwork, corrosive blood, creative, superior resiliency. All of these are useful. Corrosive blood is not as useful as the other ones because it it's very specific. Either taking toxic damage or having an enemy bite you. It's not as simple as anything that does melee damage to you. It's specifically biting you. Yeah, that doesn't trigger. However, it is something that is theoretically useful. Even if it's such an edge case that it will almost never accomplish it. It's not a negative. Anyway, Cassandra, randomly recruited human, currently wearing 2 pieces of binocular set. If I was to have my captain stop wearing the binocular shield, I could give it to her and have her have the complete set. Which, honestly, there's a chance of doing that, yeah. Definitely non-zero chance of it. This is what is probably as close as I have to a standard build for engineers on ground. These are cheap, easily available skills, and this setup of cheap, easily available skills is highly effective because they're all things that work well with the way bridge officer AIs use skills. Her traits, again, this is pretty standard for a human bridge officer. Basic covert, superior creativity, teamwork, and leadership, which is space right. And Balpoo. I actually used to use this on my captain. It's not a bad weapon. And she has the Sonic Shield, which means that the 2-piece bonus actually will trigger on her. Thing is, bridge officers triggering resuscitate. Getting a bridge officer to resuscitate another bridge officer in the middle of combat is almost not going to happen. Also, this is the tank on my team, so having her actually resuscitate me is probably a bad idea. But, it's something that's at least theoretically possible. One thing that's an important caveat is that this armor doesn't actually have physical damage resistance rating in the armor. However, I did set up this bridge officer to have skills that are personal buffs to give her generic damage resistance, like draw fire, massive threat generation bonus. It's also a rather hefty amount of damage resistance rating. Target optics, this just makes her do more damage. Battle strategies also gives her more damage and gives a small chance of applying expose to anything that attacks her. Yeah, the whole expose exploit thing, having bridge officers with teamwork does actually help with that. And I gave her lunge because, well, it's the easiest way to aggro enemies in the game. If it doesn't kill them, that is. Especially if the bridge officer uses target optics and or battle strategies first. Because sometimes she will actually use all 3 buffs, then lunge. Sometimes. Anyways, Dreads. Again, this is a bridge officer that one of my other characters picked up and decided would be useful, so yeah. Acute senses, creative, superior aggression, superior cold-blooded. Just all of those are good things and useful to have. Superior cold-blooded is less useful than the others. Much like the whole toxic blood thing, it's niche, but it's niche in a way that's helpful if a situation comes up. It's not ever a downside. And last, we have the bridge officer that I use the most often is copies of the Amazon pre-order Liberated Borg Engineer. Yeah, all of my Federation characters have one of these, and all of my Federation allied characters that are in the Romulan Republic also have one of these. Anyways, she's actually using a Delta Alliance shield. Why did I get 2 of them? Good question. I have no idea. But I did. Anyways, yeah, she's actually wearing the Heroic battle armor. I mentioned in one of my other videos that there was a point in time when the devs accidentally made the Herogen armor only 50 lopi, and I picked it up on 2 characters. Well, this was the other. Giving her that, yeah, honestly, it's because I have it more than anything else. It plays with the whole expose exploit thing, but I don't actually think any of her abilities counts as an expose ability. This is just a good shield. Seriously though, the chance of getting bonus shield hardness just because you attack something is useful. It's not amazing though, and a bridge officer who summons turrets is probably not actually going to trigger it. But you know, it's a baked-in thing on the shield. It's not one of the stats of the shield. Um, why did I give her this? Because I have it, honestly. Yeah, that's right. I have 2 different weapons on my team that do toxic damage. Genuinely don't remember why I felt the need to make this a golden weapon. I think I just wanted to see what it looked like. And then since I'm not going to use it on my captain, I gave it to a bridge officer. Although I could actually just switch this to my captain. It would work quite well for my current build, I think. Oh yeah, that's why I got it. I was thinking about using it on my captain, but I haven't actually. Anyways, so what are her skills? This is similar to Cassandra in that she has the same 2 Lieutenant Commander and Commander abilities. However, this character, since she is a miracle worker, I decided to give her a health heal for her first ability and technical mishap. Well, it's better than weapons malfunctions. That's what she had previously. No, seriously. I actually could put the turret thing on here. The whole electric damage over time thing is kind of useful. The thing with it, though, is that your bridge officer is probably not going to use it well. However, because of the fact that I do have bridge officers on my team that do have the ability to slow or stun enemies, well, this might actually do something. And again, the whole slow and stun thing comes in handy with these mortars. And then we have the standard abilities that this particular bridge officer always has, because they're literally identical when you get them. Alrighty then. Well, see you guys next time.